Hi, this is Stephen from the band Alexander, based in Paris, and you're watching France 24.
I don't know that I can take it. It's all I need, but I can't touch it. What if I should try to tell it to your face and then you look away? For eternity, see the chemistry we made.
That was Stephen Fozard of French band Alexander singing to us from his home in Paris. And as you can see, this is a slightly different edition of Encore. We're not in the studio, but broadcasting from our homes. But that hasn't stopped us seeking out the very best in arts and culture, which can be enjoyed from the safety and comfort of your own sofa. And we're starting in Senegal, where the coronavirus has prompted authorities to impose a nighttime curfew and declare a state of emergency. In addition to that official crackdown, one pro-democracy collective wants to educate people about the dangers of the virus. Y'en a marre translates roughly as enough is enough, and usually this group is very critical of the government. Now they're using music and social media to get their message across. Take a look. Hazmat suits, not designer labels for these rappers in a Dakar hospital. Their song, Fagaru Si Coronavirus, translates as coronavirus warning in Wolof. It's the work of Senegal's rapping activists, Y'en a marre, who formed in 2011. Now they're trying to get a message out to young people.
Pourquoi les jeunes? Parce que les jeunes représentent 65% de la population et ils sont très connectés à la culture hip-hop. C'est pourquoi effectivement ça va beaucoup aider à corriger ce fake news qui consiste à faire croire que c'est l'Occident qui est en train de comploter contre l'Afrique.
Ceci n'est pas normal, vous douillons. Vos vidéos pour le buzz, des intox sur des intox. Ceci n'est pas normal, vous douillons. On parle de millions de vies humaines, le Sénégalais est expert en tout, mais à chacun
The video reminds people to be careful about hygiene, but the idea of confinement and social distancing is a little more difficult given the local context.
La manière de vivre des Sénégalais est très communautaire. Et puis, pour vivre, les Sénégalais majoritairement n'ont pas assez de ressources pour acheter des vivres et les garder à la maison. Les gens vivent au jour le jour.
Il est question de prévenir, évitons les débats puérils. L'heure est grave, tous unis, faisons un sur le ring.
The Y'en a marre collective is usually very critical of the authorities, but this time the rappers have the seal of approval from the Ministry of Health.
Oui, le mouvement Y'en a marre est critique, mais le mouvement Y'en a marre est très juste. Nous sommes tous ensemble avec l'État parce qu'aujourd'hui l'adversaire, c'est la pandémie.
Their videos being broadcast on public and private channels and shared widely on social media. Meanwhile, the collective's handing out masks and antiseptic gel in Dakar, where it's not about street cred, but safety.
En ce moment, c'est un peu entre les coachs sportifs et les chefs cuisiniers, c'est un peu notre moment, je pense.
Paris-based chef Julien Sebag shares cooking tips online to help people in confinement, giving tutorials to make things we'd never normally have the time to make.
Même moi, il y a des choses que j'essaye que j'aurais jamais fait d'habitude parce que pas le temps. Ou, par exemple, il y a des choses, je veux pas aller trop souvent pour faire des courses parce que c'est un risque de contamination. Donc j'essaye d'acheter des choses qui se gardent longtemps. J'ai acheté plein de graines, épeautres, quinoa, 3 différentes sortes, lentilles aussi, plein de graines, et j'apprends à faire des graines germées, j'apprends à faire des choses que j'avais pas forcément appris avant. Hello, et on va faire nos propres pâtes. C'est une des choses que je trouve les plus satisfaisantes de faire sa propre pâte. C'est un peu comme faire son propre pain.
He's one of hundreds of chefs in France and elsewhere bringing us some joy through food. Cyril Lignac is the nation's current gastronomic media star. During the period of confinement, he has a show on primetime TV. It focuses on everyday cooking.
Nous, on est en train de faire le dîner de ce soir, un wok de légumes.
Prepariamo una bella casseruola sul fuoco.
Italian Michelin-starred chef Massimo Bottura has started an Instagram series called Kitchen Quarantine, teaching basic recipes to aspiring foodies stuck at home. And it's not just chefs sharing their secrets. Actresses Gwyneth Paltrow and Natalie Portman have been posting their favourite recipes online too.
Heavy. 1,000 masks.
Fashion on the front line. US designer Christian Siriano answered Governor of New York Andrew Cuomo's plea for help in overcoming shortages of face masks and other personal protective equipment. He is one of many brands funneling their creativity into charitable acts, including Armani and Gucci. The iconic Italian fashion house has pledged to support the country's Civil Protection Department and the World Health Organization with substantial financial donations. Prada has turned its production lines, usually focused on blazers and blouses, to produce surgical masks.
Sono molto orgogliosa di fare questo lavoro per il bene di tutti. Abbiamo proprio bisogno di queste per la nostra salute, per il bene di tutto il mondo.
In France, luxury conglomerate LVMH announced it would repurpose its cosmetics and perfume resources into mass-producing a hand sanitizer, as well as ordering 2.5 million face masks from China. Some, such as his family-run tailor shop in Italy, are trying to bring some joy to the hardest-hit regions of the country.
Il mio invito, noi siamo piccole e abbiamo fatto questo grande dono alla comunità di Molfetta e anche fuori, ma il mio invito è anche per i grandi imprenditori, i nostri grandi stilisti della moda. Mettiamoci tutti in gioco, uniti possiamo farcela, abbracciamo l'Italia in questo grande arcobaleno.
The hundreds of masks produced a day are emblazoned with a little rainbow and a slogan, "All will be well."
With concert halls, theatres and opera houses around the world on lockdown, the performing arts might have lost their live audiences, but they are finding new ways to engage the public online. Now, there are a dizzying number of live stream performances from prestigious venues like the Met in New York and the Bolshoi in Moscow, but the real challenge is how to recreate that atmosphere, those goosebumps that you can sometimes only achieve by being there. Well, some of them want us to get involved, like the Opéra Comique here in Paris, wants people to practice hitting the high notes at home with a series of sing-along videos they're calling Opéra OK, and that comes complete with tips and advice from their in-house experts. You'll be in good company because singers from Leipzig's opera are also doing their vocal exercises in confinement. The National Theatre in London has set up Thursday evening screenings of some of their most successful plays, kicking off with James Corden in One Man, Two Governors.
You know, Gav, you're a funny kind of bloke. You're only away for a week, yet you've got enough packing for a year, you know, like a woman.
You think women pack more than they need, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of people tuned in to watch that live on their YouTube channel, some of them dressing up for the occasion. And next on the bill is Jane Eyre and Treasure Island. When it comes to ballet, dancer Luke Francis has swapped his bar for his kitchen worktop for his warm-up exercises. And if you want to follow in his footsteps, choreographer Anna-Theresa de Kiersmacher has made an online tutorial for one of her most famous contemporary dance creations, and she's inviting participants to post their versions online.
It's up to you to make your own Rosas Damstrosas.
He's been dead for almost 40 years, and he's bringing people together all across France, united in laughter on their sofas. Louis de Funès starred or co-starred in several of the biggest French box office hits of all time, and silly comedies that critique society and examine human behavior in a style nobody is making anymore. Since confinement began, French TV has been running Louis de Funès films, and the audience figures are sky high. So high, in fact, that some youngsters' happiest memories of the coronavirus pandemic may well be discovering the ridiculous physical antics of de Funès with their families. French adults know the situations and some of the dialogue by heart. For example, in The Mad Adventures of Rabbi Jacob, a xenophobic, anti-Semitic businessman is forced to disguise himself as a rabbi and then wing it in his new identity. You know, as a foreigner, the day you find de Funès hilarious is also the day you grasp a vital subset of the French sense of humor. When I am recognized sometimes on the street, people will tell me that they watch France 24 not only to stay informed, but in order to practice their English, which is why I make a point of interjecting the term anti-disestablishmentarianism, arguably the longest word in the English language, every chance I get. Now, the goal of the Région Île-de-France, that's Paris and its suburbs, is to have everyone be bilingual by 2022. They've invested 6 million euros in a program called KIOS, that's a French pun that means who dares, which is an online free system for studying languages to learn English, German, Italian, Spanish, and French as a foreign language using excerpts from films. Now, we won't know whether it's worked until 2022, but in the meantime, steer clear of anti-disestablishmentarianism and take a look at this trailer.
You have the potential. You always had it.
Remember that you're a champion. A champion.
May feels like many battles are ahead, but it will be worth it in the end.
Let's get started. Come on.
So that one day you will be ready to say, yes, I do speak English.